I'm Dave First. It's great to be joined by George Steinbrenner IV and Julia Steinbrenner, George's sister, as part of Steinbrenner Racing. They are the co-president and owner of the team, and of course helping field the number 29 for NTT Steinbrenner Racing. Brother and sister owning a race team. Nothing could go wrong, right?
Not a thing.
What's the dynamic like?
The dynamic is really good. You know, Julia's much more of a people person than I am. So
Correct.
Like there's definitely aspects of playing in the circus that she does a whole lot better than me, and so it's good to have her on board and really figure out what that dynamic is, especially coming back to the races this year and getting more comfortable sort of figuring out how to best complement each other.
Sounds like a good cop, bad cop. You're the good cop?
I'm always the good cop. Yeah, no, I mean, we're like complete opposites, which caused us to absolutely hate and constantly annihilate each other as children. But as adults, it actually has come in handy because he's sort of like the yin to my professional yang.
Yeah. It's been over a year now since you announced that you're going to be part of this. How's it gone so far?
Good.
You enjoying it?
Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And like I said, you know, even when he's not here, there's just a lot of parts to it. A lot of the analytical, which is also what he does for the team, the baseball team. So it's just kind of all the data and the statistics and all that kind of stuff.
You mentioned baseball. Obviously, your family very much a part of that. We all know about that. But maybe fans don't realize the racing history that your family has as well. You want to get into what's some of your earliest memories or what?
Look, our father was a big racing fan first and foremost. Grew up a Jim Clark fanatic and loved drag racing most of all. So grew up watching a lot of NHRA on TV and on my mom's side of the family, Tony Renna was our cousin, lifelong family friends with the Renna family. So just being around the paddock our whole lives really, and just it doesn't take long being out here and being around the circus that you catch the bug.
You run away with it.
I remember your dad, Hank, loved IndyCar, and maybe not a lot of people knew he would travel to most of the races. How did that translate, and you know, how does that fuel your love of the sport? Be involved with it?
Well, I mean, anytime that we all get to do something together as a family, we're just a very close-knit family, so anytime that we got to or get to do something all together, the better off we are. So it just, obviously, it makes you more passionate about it, love it more, enjoy being there more often when you can share it with, you know, the people that you're closest with.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
It is a family around here. You get to know everybody. Everybody knows it's fascinating to kind of watch it grow. And it's certainly fueled your interest in it, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that sort of family dynamic of the whole paddock where, you know, you're competing day in and day out, not just at the racetrack, but off of it, right? But the ability to just, you know, even after scrapping with another car, maybe bang wheels together during the race, and one of you sends the other one off, and then 4 hours later you're, you know, out at getting a drink and you're just hanging out with that crew or hanging out with that driver.
Sponsorship wise, there's a lot of talk about sustainability right now, and there's a lot of tie-ins for that. What has really piqued your interest in that, and the sponsorship interest for that matter?
Ever since 2019, when we first got into IndyCar, we've had a lot of partners and a lot of initiatives revolving around green energy, renewable energy, and it's been important to us to bring that sort of thought process and into the IndyCar.
It's all by
paddock.
design, right? It's not like it's
very much by
happenstance.
design. Probably more races than not, we've had a primary sponsor that had something to do with renewable energy or natural gas or EV technology to some degree. So it's very purposeful, and having the Sapphire gas actually powering this tent right now as we speak, trying to bring that, not just the names into the sport, but the ideologies and the actual practicality of it.
And it's only going to grow from here. It's not like, you know, we're going to stop talking about sustainability next year. This is going to be for the rest of our lives, and certainly beyond that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the way that the world is going, and you know, having Sapphire here, and actually the last race they also were there empowering hospitality, and I kind of got a walk around and learned a lot about the unit itself and how it works and how it functions, and it's pretty fascinating.
not only do you operate the race team together, talk a little bit about the George 4 Foundation as well that you guys put together and operate.
Yeah, we started the George 4 Foundation, I'm going to say 2019, pretty much
end of
right.
2019 into the start of 2020.
Pretty much right when the world shut down. We had about like three
timing,
solid,
great timing.
we had 3 solid weeks of like COVID-free production going on at the front end of it all. But yeah, I mean, any market that we're in, you know, we have a foundation in New York, we have a foundation in Tampa, Florida, where we're based and where our spring training home is. And when we got involved in IndyCar, it just made sense for us to have a presence in Indianapolis and to be able to give back there. So we started the George 4 Foundation. The world shut down. We did a virtual event with Michael's foundation, and his daughter Marissa and I kind of collaborated on this event for Gleaners and actually virtually made a lot of money for Gleaners, which was fantastic. But that was definitely it was a new experience for us getting into that and having to kind of dive headfirst on a virtual basis rather than live and in person.
And the goal for the foundation is what?
To feed, clothe, support, and shelter disenfranchised people, whether that be primarily focus on youth when we can help it, but really anyone that's disenfranchised in really any way, and just making sure that they have the basic things that a person needs to not just thrive, but survive.
Incredibly important stuff, for sure. What's next for Steinbrenner Racing? What's the future look like?
It's a really good question.
Yeah, well, we'll let you know as soon as we know, Dave. Yeah, it's, you know, we've been really fortunate for the past 6-7 years now to kind of know where our home was going to be and be in the same tent. But, you know, things change, right? And we're really fortunate that the game of musical RVs and jumping into everyone's truck and everyone's RV, just trying to figure out what you're going to do, is something that we haven't really had to deal with before. So yeah, we're trying to figure out, but not 100%.
You'll be the first to know.
Yeah,
Okay,
you'll be the first to know.
I have you on speed dial now.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. But let me say that you guys are such an asset to our paddock, and thanks so much for the time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it very
Julia
much.
and George Steinbrenner, NTT Meet the Paddock.